Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Don Jo CFK7115-630. This is a pull plate. This features a hole for a lock in it. That's what it looks like. A really smart plate in the sense that you're incorporating the ability to really add a deadbolt. And where you're going to see this, in my experience, are going to be public bathrooms, whether it be in a park district or a rest stop area on a highway or a school. You'll have push-pull hardware. You're going to have the need to lock those bathroom doors after hours with a classroom-style deadbolt. A classroom style allows you to retract the deadbolt but not throw it. So if you're on the inside, you can never lock it. You can only unlock it should you get locked in. Let's take some basic dimensional properties. The 7115, this features a 4x16 plate. Okay, this plate thickness is 50 thousandths. This model is also going to include a pull handle. That pull handle is going to have a 6-inch center to center, 3/4 inch diameter. Therefore, it's going to be 7.5-inch overall length. A little bit heavy on that. I won't bother to put a caliper on that to find out why. Overall projection, about 2-inch. That means the clearance is going to be about 1.25 inches. It looks like it's closer to 1 3/8. Screw package is going to be included. You're going to have the through bolts and finish washers or countersunk washers to go through the door, and then we'll bolt the handle through the door. Okay, then you're going to have your probably 6x5/8 oval head, undercut oval head sheet metal screws. That will be for the plate itself. So you're going to have a total of 9 holes in here. One's for the lock, 2 are for the pull handle, and then 6 will be for the screws themselves. Let's talk about specifically where you'll use this and then go through the rest of the video. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. As I mentioned briefly before, you're going to have a need for push and pull hardware. In a restaurant, there's probably no reason to ever have a deadbolt on a door, but I have seen it. I've had customers order from me deadbolts that will go on bathroom doors in a restaurant or a bar application. But you're almost always going to see locking hardware. You're certainly going to see locking hardware on bathroom doors in public areas, like I had said. Park districts, rest stop areas, campgrounds, very common. Again, schools, after the children go home, there's no reason for anyone to go in there. The maintenance staff will do their cleaning. They will lock the door until the next day when they unlock them when students return for school. Doesn't mean those are the only places. You could put this onto any door that needs a push and pull that requires a deadbolt. You can have a garage door where you're just going to, or a workshop would be a better explanation. You're going to have free push-pull entry at all times. It's a non-fire door, obviously, because it's a probably a deadbolt, even though we do have a slam latch that's fire rated. You can have a deadbolt with a slam style deadlocking latching bolt that is fire rated. And then when you want to lock the workshop up, you throw the deadbolt. Now, why would you incorporate that into this plate? Well, you get both the deadbolt and the pull handle and the push on the opposite side in a smaller footprint. You're utilizing less room overall on the door. Otherwise, your deadbolt's going to have to be positioned up here. And if you're going to put this push and pull hardware, say at 48-inch to the center line or 44-inch to the center line, that deadbolt's going to be a little bit higher. Is that a problem? Probably not. But you can keep it in a much more normal location. If you were to put a deadbolt at its standard location, you would then be able to put the pull handle near its standard height rather than being forced to spread those out. So that's why this material is really nice. Okay, so then we've got the pull handle. Let's switch. And by the way, this is in stainless steel 630. That means this is solid stainless in a brushed finish, the most durable of all finishes. That's the back side. This is the peel away protective film that's on there. Okay. Now let's switch to the screen view where we can take a closer look at all the supporting information. If you've not hit subscribe yet, we would very much appreciate if you did, and hopefully you're enjoying this video. Now let's get back to it. Okay, here's the item that we are looking at. We have the CFK 7115. Let's take a look and see what that means, CFK. We've got this catalog open, but let's go through the extended description first. Push plate with a CFK cut. Well, the CFK means it's 2 1/8. And in the product catalog that I just opened, if we do a search for CFK, how to order, CFC is 1 1/4, CFD is 1 1/2, CFK is 2 1/8. So, different diameter holes you can put in that hardware. 1 1/4, that's going to be for a mortise cylinder. Maybe you've got a mortise deadbolt. Okay, that 1 1/2, that can be for a deadbolt as well as the 2 1/8. Some deadbolts will go into an 1 1/2 hole. A non-fire rated version of a slam lock by Schlage will fit into an 1 1/2 hole. Many of their deadbolts will fit into 1 1/2 holes as well. Okay, CFL is a 2 1/8 with lever prep, so that would be not unusual to see that. But I would be more tempted to say that you're going to see a CFL when you have just a plate, okay, and not a pull handle. You might have some function holes that you're covering up, whatever the case might be. I don't recall the last time I've seen a CFL. CFK, absolutely. CFC, absolutely. CFD, for sure. This also shows you the 7115. The hole location can be varied, but all holes are 2 1/2 inch on center from the end of the plate, which means the top of the plate to the center line, even though the plate that I have here is closer to 2 1/4, in fact. So my hole's about 2 1/4 center line up from there as I put a tape measure on it. Different sizes, 3.5 by 15, 4 by 16 can be done with these prefixes for a hole. Push plates can be done as well with the prefix for the hole. Different base materials, aluminum, brass or bronze, and stainless steel, onto which you can do all of the different available finishes. Your brasses, your bronze, your chromes, your nickels, satin polished. You know, aluminum can be done, obviously, anodized aluminum. I don't know if they do a dark bronze anodized. Stainless steel can be technically done satin, or, well, forgive me, as I'm saying it, the finishes are available here. On brass, you can do polished brass or satin brass. On bronze, you can do satin bronze or oil rub bronze. On aluminum, you can do anodized aluminum. And on stainless, you can do polished stainless and satin stainless. So those are the finishes. You know, because it's Don Jo, they can powder coat it in black, I'm sure, because they do powder coat other items. They ought to be able to provide that. So that's our description of the diameter of the hole. Let's look at the rest of it. All holes are 2 1/4 on center from the end of the plate. Their catalog says 2 1/2 and can be varied. For other than standard cutout location, please attach a sketch or enter it in the comments field. There is no listed change or alteration required in price. If there is, we'll let you know before proceeding. Fasteners. Now, the options, 2 1/2 clearance is also available. They're referring to the pull handle. If you need to have a greater clearance, indicate that there, and they will supply it accordingly. Product catalog, we've clicked on that. Now this is going to show us all things door pull, push, and pull plates related from Don Jo. So I would certainly recommend that you review this. It's going to be the garden variety material. Push plates, different sizes, different base materials, different finishes. A panoply of standard type of pulls that you're going to see ubiquitously throughout the industry. Maybe less these curved pulls, but you will see those. These offset pulls you'll see on aluminum storefront all the time, and the offset pull allows you to get your hand to the cylinder to lock and unlock the door by moving that pull out of the way. Obviously, as does this C-style pull. You see those occasionally. Push bars, push bar sets as well. Ladder pulls, different lengths, very common in aluminum storefront. The problem with ladder pulls is these don't get out of the way of that cylinder. You'll see those installed incorrectly, where you can't really get your hand to the key. Standard push-pull hardware, not much to mention there. Just different sizes, different types of pulls that are mounted. Then our units that have the cylinder holes or lock prep holes. Flush style pulls for different applications, a handicap compliant. This one incorporates a push-pull sort of possibility. This cylinder pull is very typical when you have a rim cylinder with an exit device. This combination unit here is anyway, back to the cylinder pull. If you have an exit device and you don't want to try to pull the door open with the key inserted in the lock when it's turned 90 degrees, that's a good idea. Install one of these under your rim cylinder, and the profile of that cylinder pull is going to look like this. And your rim cylinder will fit. Well, anyway, you get the concept. That's what it's going to look like. You'll be able to pull that open like that. This combination pull you'll see in hospitals all the time. Push the door or pull it open by getting your hand underneath there. Wire pulls, these are going to be basically heavy-duty pieces of cabinet hardware. They have a 5/16 diameter. They're made of solid brass in different finishes. When you need something robust and heavy-duty in terms of a wire pull, that would fit the bill. Cabinet knobs, we don't do much Don Jo cabinet hardware at all. Foot pulls are increasingly more common in the post-COVID-19 era. You know, I've not been able to successfully use the instep of my foot to easily pull the door open. Plus, I've had people come through the other side and push the door into my foot as I'm trying to pull the door open with, you know, with a tool that's not meant to do it. But nonetheless, touchless. Different mounting types. You'll need to, if you're doing any sort of push-pull hardware, you'll want to consider the mount type. This client on this ordered type 1 mount. It's just through bolted. He does have a couple of push plates on the opposite side where you'll have to obviously have a hole drilled through that push plate for that finish washer. Now, other links that are on this page. Template. That document doesn't exist. We will get that fixed. Cut sheet. Not much here at all. This is just off the factory's website. Nothing here of importance. Mounting options, we actually just went over that. And there you go. Because we have that there because you have to select your mount type. Now, there is a link below this video as seen here to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Don Jo products that we sell by means of this horizontal navigation, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog, but that same full catalog broken down into subsections, a little easier to wield when you're looking at subsections. Let's take a final look at this hardware and wrap up this video. If you've made it this far into this video, you must be determined to see it through to the end, and we appreciate your hanging in there with us and watching this entire video. It means a lot. It takes a lot of work to create these videos in the sense that, you know, it's time taken away from doing other things. However, the advantage for me personally of creating these videos is the fact that it does allow myself to either learn about something new, to reacquaint myself with something, or to reinforce what I believe that I already know. Any comments that you might leave down below would be greatly appreciated. Thank you. In conclusion, if you have any questions about this relatively common piece of equipment, yeah, looking at the client's address, I can't tell what the application will be based on that. But there you go. Pretty simple and straightforward. The name Don Jo is synonymous with trim and auxiliary hardware like this. They have a relatively petite footprint within the industry, and I would suggest that you review their product catalog. If you know the name Don Jo at all, you do for door reinforcing wraparound plates or latch protectors, but also know that they have trim and auxiliary hardware. They also have strike plates. They part of their unique product offering is that they have extended lip strike plates. So if you have a deep inset or unusual thick casing, you might be able to find the strike that you need from Don Jo. Any questions on the CFK7115 in a stainless steel or any other Don Jo product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you. Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up, please subscribe, and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.